fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the Dark Chameleon.
Peace of the gods.
Listen, check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior visionary. But when I speak this truth, I feel like nobody hears me. Every once in a while, I give sight to someone blind, floating on the globe in the heliocentric lie. Dilate your pupils the more you open your eyes. The truth is sitting in plain sight like a disguise. Until my mother's death is revenge, I won't feel satisfied. It haunts me when I think about the phone call when she died. A river worth of tears shed from my eyes. So I looked up at the sky and I asked God why. It's been 21 years, I'm still waiting for a reply. Since birth I've been at war to attack our undeveloped minds. Indoctrination camps making us dumb, deaf and blind. I'm always thinking solutions, we are running out of time. The dirty witchcraft is weak, I see through all the lies. I clearly analyze all the symbols and the signs. When I connect dots, the truth starts to align. The people are the power, you can never eclipse my shine. I say the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. They say hell burns and there's a one-way ticket for me. You create your heaven or hell whether or not you believe. I'm God and Satan, I have to balance out my chi. One day these seeds I plant will bloom so you can be all you can be. Never give up and always hold your head high, cause you are God, there's no need to look to the sky.
Check it, yo. I always be analyzing to see who's fake. People acting Janus, running around two-faced, talking behind my back until they put in their place. You're a two-course meal without saying grace on the internet. Talking shit through your fingertips, talking high power till your shine is eclipsed. Trying to ride a wave until your mind is seasick. Cement shoes and your ankles tied with 3 bricks. This isn't Grand Theft Auto, this is real life. I will piss on your grave and throw dick to your wife. This is a warning mixed with some advice. You might be king, but I'm the ace of spades, and you just reneged. This is food for thought, bitch, eat a grenade. This is what people want, to be treated like dirt. I tried being humble, but that was absurd. All the brainless pigeons flock together like birds, pecking for crumbs until they merge with the crossroads and chuck the demi-urge. I think they had enough, I took the trash to the curb. Let the torture begin and watch them burn. Here's the urn.
It's hard to keep it real with fake people. They can take love, mix it with hate and make evil. I'm staring at 50 shades of gray people. It's a grand deception, like K-Vino. They are who they say they isn't. On the internet, spreading everybody's business through a troll account. Talking foul, not knowing what goes around comes around. The flat out truth is the energy change when I come around. I guess London Bridge is falling down. Hey people, stall him out. We know all about the narrative painting to control the clout. They gatekeepers trying to stop the ones trying to awake people. HOTC.
What's up, Three Fingers? What's up, Dom? Thanks for this video, Dom. It's a good video, so I really felt like sharing it. It's by Blavatsky. Let's check it out.
This knowledge was hidden for over 70 years. locked away in the basement archives of the Theosophical Society in London, gathering dust and secrets. Few people know this, but Helena Blavatsky left behind more than just her famous books. She left warnings about something that walks among us, wearing human faces but carrying empty souls. The manuscript was discovered in 1952, wrapped in silk and sealed with wax. Written in her own hand, it contained 9 signs. 9 unmistakable markers of beings who appear human, but lack the divine spark that makes us truly alive. The society's leaders were terrified. They buried it deeper than any secret they'd ever kept, but some truths refused to stay buried. Tonight, you're going to learn what Helena Blavatsky knew about the soulless ones, and why she believed they might already be in your family. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky wasn't like other people. Born in 1831 in Ukraine, she could see things others couldn't. As a child, she would sit for hours in silence, watching invisible beings move through her room like shadows made of light. "I see them everywhere," she wrote in her private journal. "Beings of light and beings of void. The masters tell me that not all who wear human form carry the divine flame within. Some are empty vessels, walking among us, feeding off our spiritual energy." By the age of 20, Helena had traveled to Tibet, where the ascended masters taught her the ancient secrets. They showed her the 7 planes of existence, the evolution of human consciousness, and something else, something darker. They revealed that throughout history there have always been those who look human but possess no soul. "Master Moria explained it to me," she later wrote. "The soul is not automatically given to every human form. It must be earned, cultivated, awakened. Some beings are born as empty shells, imitating life but never truly living it." Helena spent decades studying these soulless ones. She documented their behaviors, their patterns, their influence on those around them. She discovered that they could be found in every family, every community, every generation, and she learned how to recognize them. But before we continue this journey into forbidden knowledge, I need to ask you something personal. Where in this vast world are you listening to me right now? What city, what country has brought you to this moment? Please share that with me in the comments, because according to Helena Blavatsky's teachings, the fact that you're here learning this ancient wisdom is no accident. Your soul called you here for a reason. In 1875, Helena Blavatsky had a vision that changed everything. She was meditating in her study in New York when Master Kuthumi appeared to her in astral form. His presence filled the room with golden light, but his message was darker than any she'd received before. "Observe," he told her, and suddenly she could see into the souls of people walking on the street below. Most glowed with inner light, some bright, some dim, but all carrying the divine spark. But others were completely dark, empty, void. "These are the ones without souls," Master Kuthumi explained. "They are not fallen angels, not demons in disguise. They are empty vessels that learn to mimic human behavior. They feel nothing, connect to nothing, create nothing. They exist only to consume the life force of others." Helena watched in horror as these soulless beings moved through crowds, leaving trails of confusion and exhaustion behind them. People who encountered them would suddenly feel drained, disoriented, somehow less than they were before. "But how do we recognize them?" Helena asked. The master smiled sadly. "Through the 9 signs, Helena. 9 unmistakable markers that reveal the absence of soul. You must document these for humanity. The age of awakening is coming, and people must learn to protect themselves." That night, Helena began writing. She filled page after page with observations, interviews, and spiritual insights. She discovered that the soulless ones had always existed, mentioned in ancient texts under different names. The empty ones, the mimics, the soul thieves. What she discovered next would shake her to her core. Helena's investigation took an unexpected turn when she met Dr. Alexander Mitchell, a psychiatrist studying unusual personality disorders. He had been documenting cases of patients who seemed to lack basic human empathy and emotional connection. "I've never seen anything like it," Dr. Mitchell confided to Helena during one of their secret meetings. "These individuals can mimic emotions perfectly, but when you look deeper, there's nothing there. No genuine feeling, no moral compass, no capacity for genuine love or remorse." Helena knew immediately that he was describing the soulless ones the masters had shown her. But through her connection to the ascended masters, she received a revelation that modern psychology couldn't provide. The absence of soul wasn't just a psychological condition, it was a spiritual reality. In her trance states, Helena learned that human consciousness exists on 7 different planes. Most people operate primarily on the physical, emotional, and mental planes, but the soul exists on the higher planes, the Buddhic and Atmic levels where divine consciousness resides. The soulless ones, she wrote, exist only on the lower 3 planes. They have physical bodies, they can mimic emotions, and they possess a kind of intelligence, but they have no connection to the higher planes where wisdom, compassion, and divine love reside. This explained their behavior. Without access to the higher planes of consciousness, they couldn't experience genuine empathy, spiritual growth, or moral development. They were like sophisticated biological machines, programmed to survive and manipulate, but incapable of true human experience. Helena began documenting the 9 signs that could help people recognize these empty beings. But as she delved deeper into her research, she realized something terrifying. These soulless ones were not random anomalies. They seemed to be increasing in number, and they were drawn to positions of power and influence. The masters had warned her that humanity was entering a critical phase of spiritual evolution, and the soulless ones were the greatest threat to that evolution. Through years of observation and guidance from the ascended masters, Helena Blavatsky identified 9 unmistakable signs of the soulless. Each sign revealed a different aspect of their spiritual emptiness. The first sign was emotional vacancy. Watch their eyes when others laugh or cry, Helena wrote. They may mirror the expression, but there's no genuine feeling behind it. Their emotional responses are learned behaviors, not authentic experiences. The second sign was the absence of true empathy. Soulless beings could not feel the pain or joy of others. They might offer sympathy if it served their purposes, but they felt nothing when witnessing suffering or celebration. The third sign was their inability to engage in genuine self-reflection. They avoid looking inward, Helena noted, because there is nothing to see. When confronted about their behavior, they deflect, lie, or attack. They cannot grow from their mistakes because they do not truly learn from experience. The fourth sign was chronic manipulation and deception, not lying out of fear or self-protection, but lying as a default mode of communication. They seemed incapable of authentic interaction. The fifth sign was their parasitic relationships. They maintained connections only as long as others served their needs. Love, loyalty, and genuine intimacy were foreign concepts to them. The sixth sign was their discomfort with silence and stillness. Meditation and quiet contemplation terrify them, Helena observed, because stillness reflects their inner void. They must constantly create noise, drama, or distraction to avoid confronting their emptiness. The seventh sign was spiritual mimicry. They used spiritual and moral language, but their energy felt cold and hollow. They could quote sacred texts and speak of love, but their presence drained rather than uplifted others. The eighth sign was their chameleon-like nature. They constantly changed their personas and beliefs to manipulate situations. They had no consistent core self because they had no soul to provide that consistency. The ninth and most disturbing sign was what Helena called the dead eyes. When truly seen, their eyes revealed absence rather than presence. There was no light, no depth, no recognition of the sacred. But recognizing these signs was only the beginning. Helena was about to discover why these beings existed at all. In 1888, while channeling information for the secret doctrine, Helena received a shocking revelation about the origin of the soulless ones. Master Moria showed her visions of ancient Atlantis, the advanced civilization that existed thousands of years ago. In Atlantis, Master Moria revealed, humanity reached great technological and psychic heights. But in their pursuit of power, some Atlanteans began experimenting with the creation of artificial humans. They succeeded in creating beings that looked human, but lacked souls. Helena saw these artificial beings in her visions, perfect physical specimens, with advanced intellectual capabilities, but completely empty of divine essence. They were created to be servants and workers, but they eventually learned to mimic their creators so perfectly that they became indistinguishable from real humans. When Atlantis fell, the master continued. These soulless beings survived. They have been reproducing and evolving for millennia, learning to blend in with true humans. They are the hollow ones, the mimics, the empty vessels that walk among you today. This revelation explained so much. The soulless ones weren't a modern phenomenon or a psychological disorder. They were the descendants of artificial beings created in humanity's distant past. They had no choice in their nature. They were literally born without souls. But Helena learned something even more disturbing. These beings were not content to simply exist alongside humanity. They were instinctively drawn to drain the life force and spiritual energy of those who possessed souls. It wasn't conscious evil. It was their nature, like a plant turning toward sunlight. They cannot create spiritual energy, Helena wrote in her secret journal, so they must steal it from others. They are unconscious vampires, feeding off the divine spark they can never possess. Helena began to understand why the masters had chosen her to document this knowledge. Humanity was entering a new phase of spiritual evolution, and people needed to know how to protect themselves from these energy predators. But the most shocking discovery was yet to come. As Helena's research became known within certain esoteric circles, she began receiving letters from people all over the world. Desperate letters from those who had recognized the signs in their own families. One letter from a woman in Boston particularly haunted Helena. Mrs. Blavatsky, I believe my own husband is one of these soulless beings. For 20 years I thought he was simply difficult or emotionally distant, but after reading your work I see all 9 signs. He has drained my life force until I barely recognize myself. What do I do? How do I protect our children? Helena realized that many people were living with soulless family members without understanding what they were dealing with. The emotional manipulation, the energy drain, the constant confusion. These weren't character flaws or mental illnesses. They were signs of fundamental spiritual absence. Through her connection with the masters, Helena developed protection techniques. She taught people how to shield their energy, how to set spiritual boundaries, and how to recognize when they were being drained. You cannot save them or heal them, she wrote in response to hundreds of similar letters. They are not broken souls. They are absent souls. Your compassion and love will not fill their emptiness. It will only deplete your own spiritual reserves. This was the hardest truth for people to accept. The natural human response to emptiness is to try to fill it with love. But Helena learned that soulless beings could not be filled. They were like spiritual black holes, consuming everything around them without ever being satisfied. The crisis deepened when Helena realized that many spiritual teachers and healers were particularly vulnerable to these beings. Their open hearts and healing energy made them attractive targets for spiritual parasites. She began warning her students, test everyone who comes to you. Look for the signs, protect your energy. Not everyone who seeks spiritual knowledge does so for noble purposes. Some seek only to find new sources of energy to consume. But Helena's warnings created a terrible dilemma. How do you protect yourself without becoming paranoid or judgmental? In 1890, Helena received her most urgent communication from the Ascended Masters. The message came through Master Djwal Khul during a deep trance state that lasted 3 days. When she emerged, she was pale and shaken. The Watchers have spoken, she told her closest students. The soulless ones are multiplying at an unprecedented rate. Something is causing more empty vessels to be born into human families. The spiritual evolution of humanity itself is at stake. Master Djwal Khul had shown her visions of the future, a world where the soulless outnumbered the souled, where genuine human connection became impossible, where love itself became extinct. It was a nightmare scenario that the Ascended Masters were desperately trying to prevent. The root cause, she learned, was humanity's growing disconnection from the divine. As people became more materialistic and spiritually disconnected, they were becoming more vulnerable to producing offspring without souls. It was as if the divine spark was gradually withdrawing from the human race. Parents who live without spiritual connection, who value only material success and physical pleasure, may give birth to empty vessels, Helena wrote in her most secret writings. The soul does not automatically incarnate in every human form. It must be called welcomed and nurtured. This explained why the soulless ones seem to be increasing in number, especially in modern industrial societies. As humanity moved away from spiritual practices and divine connection, they were inadvertently creating the conditions for more empty beings to be born. Helena began developing practices for expectant parents, meditations, prayers, and spiritual exercises designed to invite and nurture the incarnation of a soul in their unborn child. She taught that consciousness and intention during conception and pregnancy could determine whether a soul would inhabit the forming body. But she also received a darker warning. The soulless ones were not passive parasites. Some had learned to actively seek out and corrupt spiritual communities. They were infiltrating mystery schools, religious organizations, and healing circles, spreading confusion and discord from within. Beware the spiritual teacher who drains rather than uplifts, Helena warned. Beware the healer who leaves you feeling empty. Beware the leader who speaks of love but spreads division. The final phase of her mission was about to begin. On April 15, 1891, Helena Blavatsky received her final and most profound revelation about the soulless ones. Master Moria appeared to her in a vision more vivid than any she had ever experienced. "Helena," the master said, his presence filling her entire being with light, "the time has come for you to understand the ultimate purpose behind the existence of the soulless ones." What she learned in that moment shattered everything she thought she knew about good and evil, about the nature of spiritual evolution itself. They are not humanity's enemies, Master Moria revealed. They are humanity's test. Every souled being must learn to discern between the real and the artificial, between genuine love and manipulation, between spiritual truth and spiritual mimicry. The soulless ones force humanity to develop spiritual discrimination. Helena saw it all with perfect clarity. The existence of beings who could perfectly mimic human behavior but lack human essence was designed to push genuine humans toward greater spiritual awareness. Those who could not discern the difference would be drained and weakened. Those who learned to recognize and protect themselves would become spiritually stronger. In the coming age, the master continued, humanity will face its greatest test. As the planet's vibrational frequency rises, the division between the souled and the soulless will become more apparent. Those with souls will evolve rapidly toward higher consciousness. Those without souls will become increasingly desperate and destructive. Helena understood. The new age that was approaching would not be a time of universal peace and love. It would be a time of sorting, of separation, of choosing. People would have to decide whether to develop their spiritual discernment or remain vulnerable to manipulation and energy drain. Your work, Master Moria concluded, is to prepare humanity for this choice. Those who learn to recognize the 9 signs will protect not only themselves, but the entire species. Those who ignore your warnings will become food for the empty ones. In her final weeks, Helena worked feverishly to complete her secret manuscript on the soulless beings. She knew that this knowledge would be too dangerous to publish immediately, but she also knew that eventually humanity would need it to survive. The test was coming, the choice was approaching, and the future of human consciousness hung in the balance. Helena Blavatsky died on May 8, 1891, but her spirit never left this plane. Those who are sensitive to such things know that she continues to watch, to guide, to warn from beyond the veil. Her work with the soulless ones was too important to abandon with death. If you have stayed with me through this entire journey, if you have felt the truth resonating in your heart, then your soul is already awakening to this ancient knowledge. You are being called to become one of the protectors, one of the discerning ones who can recognize emptiness masquerading as humanity. Look around you now with new eyes. Watch for the 9 signs Helena documented. Notice who drains your energy and who uplifts it. Pay attention to those who speak of love but leave you feeling empty, who claim wisdom but spread confusion, who appear spiritual but lack genuine warmth. This is not about judgment or condemnation. The soulless ones are not evil. They are empty. They cannot help their nature any more than a stone can help being cold. But you can help your nature. You can choose to strengthen your soul, to protect your energy, to surround yourself with genuine light. Practice what Helena taught. Begin each day by connecting to the divine source within you. Set energetic boundaries around your spiritual essence. Trust your intuitive feelings about people, especially when something feels off despite their words or appearance. Nourish your soul through beauty, silence, prayer, and nature. Remember, the very fact that you sought out this knowledge, that you hunger for spiritual truth, proves that you carry the divine spark within you. The soulless ones do not seek enlightenment. They seek only to consume those who do. Helena Blavatsky sacrificed her reputation, her health, and ultimately her life to bring this knowledge to humanity. She endured ridicule and persecution because she knew that one day people like you would need these tools to navigate the spiritual challenges of a transforming world. The age of awakening is here. The separation between the soul and the soulless is accelerating. Those who carry the divine flame within them are being called to recognize each other, to protect each other, and to preserve the light of genuine human consciousness for future generations. You are not alone in this knowledge. Across the world, sensitive souls are awakening to these same truths. Together you form a network of light that the empty ones cannot penetrate or corrupt. Trust your soul, protect your energy, share this wisdom with those ready to receive it, and remember that Helena Blavatsky and the Ascended Masters continue to guide all those who genuinely seek the light. The future of human consciousness depends on souls like yours. Rise to meet that responsibility with courage, wisdom, and unshakable connection to the divine source that lives within you. Perhaps nothing about your discovery of this knowledge was accidental. Perhaps your soul called you here because it knew you were ready to become a guardian of the light. Welcome to the Eternal Watch. Helena Blavatsky's work continues through you.
Well, that's it. I've heard many things about Blavatsky. I don't know much about her. I know she was into occult stuff. Shit, Jesus is a cult. Christians be denying that though. Christians are the biggest cult. The most manipulative cult.
The Theosophical
Not all of them.
Society, what do you think of
What's
them?
up, Max? How you doing?
Doing good.
That's
What's your
good.
opinion on the Theosophical Society?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think they give out some good information, and I think they give out some bad information.
Yeah, everything. I'm starting to see everything like that.
Yeah.
You got to cherry pick. Don't chase the carrot. Cherry pick the information.
The video was all right, Chronix. Wasn't bad for AI.
Who's Tronics?
I don't know. Some dude in chat.
Probably a fake account. A lot of these people don't want to come into my chat with their real account. They got to use these bozo accounts. I'll check and see. You could tell right off the bat. I don't know who Tronics is.
Never seen the name before. But you know, if you believe in the, I don't know if it's an emerging, well, an ancient theory of like animism, everything, all energy is conscious. So really, there's conscious entities around us all the time. If that's the case. I've met some of those soulless people. I don't know if they're exactly soulless, but I don't know. But I do know people that are very similar to that. Lost Charles. Any thoughts in chat there?
Man, booted me out quick. But yeah, it's a fake account.
Yeah.
I usually was gonna start banning every fake account that came in, like, but sometimes these trolls make me laugh.
He isn't trolling really at the moment, so.
Yeah, but a lot of them come in and just say anything to try to get people mad.
Oh, yeah.
This video's AI dog shit. I mean,
Oh.
it is a
It's an AI production.
animated voice.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, technology has become so advanced that it's getting kind of hard if you ain't got the eye to tell the difference. I've seen some really good AI stuff.
Yeah, it's getting better. It'll get better over time too. So, yeah.
Which sucks, because even with pictures. Now look at this Moorish architecture. I found a bunch of more pictures. I found that website. I think this is obviously in Africa, but I mean, this architecture is amazing. It's a drawing of the place.
Yeah.
These towers, they kind of remind me of lighthouses.
Yeah. Watchtowers. Lightning rods. Could be power collectors. Those are really high.
Yeah, I don't like my phone acts funny with the split screen. I never had a problem with my old phone. This new phone it's just nothing but problems. What's this crap?
I guess that's where you'd keep your harem, right? They'd have each girl would have a room in there, and you'd walk around the courtyard looking at all your women.
What the fuck is this shit? YouTube screwing up. You gotta be kidding me. Michelle Gibson, man, is amazing. She's like one of the only people I've come across that has the same theories as me, which I don't even want to call them theories, but I have to, because for me, they're not theories, they're facts, but to me, it's like common sense. But
Michelle,
she also thinks Mount Meru is a tree stump at the center. She's one of the only people I've heard say that. You know, that's the conclusion I've come to through my research.
Yeah.
And she even said, which is interesting, like Devil's Tower and a lot of other places are the tree stumps, which are connected to the main tree at the center by the roots, which is the ley lines. And then she explains like lighthouses. Like if you look at Cape Cod, and then you go all the way to the West Coast and you look at Washington State, how that curves out. All that was sinking in by what's that called? When stuff becomes like muddish through the frequency and it sinks down, it's called
liquefaction.
There you go. Thank you. Liquefaction. And you could see it in Cape Cod. It makes sense when she pointed it out. And then in Washington State, probably in Florida too. And it would explain a lot of so-called mountain ranges due to the ripple of frequencies or energy, the ripple in the ground. I mean, that must have been a huge, like, ripple effect of energy from the center out. And then I just imagine this old world, how beautiful it must have been before people got greedy and selfish. And you could tell with these pictures too that the buildings are real, but the problem is the people aren't. They overlaid fake people, they whited out the sky. It's like they cut negatives. That's their old way of
Yeah, they used to do weird shit with photos.
That's their Photoshop back in the day.
Yeah. Maybe they took out the skies so you couldn't see what was up there, right?
Mm.
A lot of them, they take out the sky.
Like this right here is, I question, was this the beginning of a project? Or then I question, was the back part melted? Right? These are the things I ask when I look at it, because a lot of people say they didn't finish the project. Well, how do we know?
Yeah.
Because people go in these things and they go far underground. And I've even heard of, in stories that I've read, I don't know if they're true, from the 1800s, where they talk about, I've told you about them climbing trees to go to other levels and meet their ancestors. They called them the star people that lived way up at the top of these trees. There was other lands way up there. So who knows? And then you hear all the continents are connected by underground tunnels. I believe that. I don't think these oceans are, some spots might be deep. There's probably a crack in the ocean floor, but from when this event happened, but I don't think the ocean goes deep as they say everywhere.
Some of it's pretty deep. They say a couple kilometers, a couple miles.
Here, I don't know how old this map is, but look at the Great Lakes up there. I was trying to get this whole map.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
Used
that.
to be one big lake. Way back, it was one big lake they called Lake Iroquois.
Huh.
You can see the old shoreline on Google Earth.
Interesting. So this event literally relocated a lot of stuff. It probably cracked the ground open and the water sunk in. Who knows?
Oh yeah, they had, like, because there was a big lake there, it broke the the shoreline of the lake, right?
Oh.
Broke the shoreline and wiped it away, so that the lake never came back to the same level.
Look at this stuff. And that don't even look like no fireplace, man. That looks like some sort of resonant technology right there or something.
Well, meditation chamber.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Or a healing chamber, right? You go in there and you do some ohms and you heal yourself up.
Yeah, Dean had a good question on that, man. He had brought up, what would we heal ourselves from? And I would say aging. It slows down your aging process. Because whether people like it or not, we're always going to age. I don't know why. I think 99.9% of the stuff we're taught is bullshit. It's manipulated story. It's a manipulated truth. They try to put like 1,000 versions of one truth to keep us confused.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they can make animals live for a long time. You just don't feed them a lot.
Shit, they've cut a head off a dog. I've seen videos of this project, and they kept the dog alive through oxygen machines. And it
Yeah,
was crazy.
that's
A
terrible.
dog head. Like, these people are vicious, but they say it's for the name of science, it's for our own good. Well, says who? Because they say it.
Right?
I'm gonna cut this dog's head off and keep it alive. Like, you gotta be savage to do some shit like that. And then feed it. Like, come here, doggy. They were calling it, and it was responding. I'm like, damn. That's what the people say. Well, how do Egyptians know about all this stuff? That's how. They cutting heads open. It's the only way to find out. Wow, look at this. I wonder who those people are in these statues. And that's another thing with these statues. When I go by the Capitol, every day I'm out there looking on the ground. I would love to get some footage to Michelle Gibson. With these dragons that I found on the building. I didn't see them the first go around. Or the first cool. 80 go rounds.
I like all the statues. That's really cool.
Because these dragons are in Scotland, Europe. And I wonder if these statues on the Capitol, if they took the original statues off and put new ones to throw us off. It's always all white people. That's odd to me. Where was everyone else? No, there was no Spanish people, no dark, so-called black people. There's no one else. Just white people everywhere.
Yeah. Hi, Lucid. Hi, Latrell. There are no soulless people. There's only alignment or resistance. Remembering each other. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of lean towards that, Lucid. But they have souls, but they're like blocked off or cut down or something. But I always think there's a spark in people.
I don't know. I just know they're doing fucked up shit. If they got a spark or not.
Every time I try to take a chance on that, though, I get screwed over. So,
Everyone has an opinion.
The odds go down to me.
I just listen to everyone just to see how they're looking at certain topics. I don't want to say anyone's wrong or anyone's right because I don't fucking know. I mean, this architecture is just... When I found some more of these pictures, I get amped up. Who would even want to knock this down just to put up a bunch of squares stacked on each other? I think this might... Look at the Masonic floor. It looks like some sort of a ritual.
A throne.
Look.
Throne or pulpit. I don't know.
Look at this. There's always... How many layers is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 layers.
Yeah, that's the chakra system. Probably some sacred geometry in that doorway too. They always put that in. The ratio.
The portal. They call doorways portals, and it is.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 7. Those look like caskets in a way. Or those could be chambers you lay in and they fill with water or something. And maybe when you lay in the chamber of granite, because there's crystal in it, and you could probably put you know, in the granite, there's all sorts of crystals and metals. Put water in there and then throw frequency through it.
Charge up the water.
And you.
Yeah. Huh.
That's what I think these people were on. Like that type of technology, but they do their best to keep it hidden. I think they've taken that technology and molded it into weaponry. That's all these people want to do is just kill and savage. Most, it's just, I don't know. That's all these people want to do.
Domination and control.
They can't just live in peace and just exist in a peaceful way and enjoy their experience here. They always got to, like, somebody needs to step on. We need to. I'm not looking to start a problem, but I'll finish it if they come my way, and I'll stomp these roaches out like the Orkin man.
I'm kind of stuck inside this weekend. It's arson season in Canada. So it's smoky outside.
It's what season?
Arson season. Oh, I'm sorry, wildfire season.
They're firing up the DEWs on the drones.
Oh, this is just people going around setting them. They
Great
use
picture.
flares and shit. They throw them into the woods. It's all climate activist bullshit.
Mud flood. Look at the buildings kind of buried.
Yeah. Yeah, they're blowing up churches in Middle East all over the place now. In Gaza, fucking Syria.
You know who got a good video, Max? What's his name? Belly Ray in Portland, Oregon. He was interviewing a protester, and the lady had on masks and black nails. She's with that stupid group. What's their name? Yeah, that stupid group. You know, they're gonna, them type of groups are gonna be the reason that, you know, they're gonna deploy the military. Like, that's supposed to be illegal, but they're gonna change that law because of these people. See, that I think these people are like being put in place. It's a chess move, so then they can implement laws and say, "Oh, you guys are in danger. You know, we got to do this move." You know, everything is planned ahead with these people. So Belly Ray was asking her, where's she from? She couldn't even keep a straight answer. They're not even from fucking Portland, Oregon. These are people coming from outer states, coming there and causing destruction. And he's calling them out, which is awesome. That lady couldn't even keep a straight answer. I got to show the video one day soon. Or go to Belly Ray's and look at it. Let me get his link. Because Belly Ray is from Portland, Oregon. And he's wondering why they're protesting there. And causing destruction in the city. I'm surprised they're not doing it here in Hartford. There's a lot of leftists in Connecticut. A lot of leftist people, man. A pile of bricks. Look at that. There's your bricks, Antifa. Here's your pile of bricks. Look at this, man. Look at this. Oops. You check the chat. What's up, Lucid? What's up, Copper Tone? Yeah, the link. I think the link is there. If anyone wants to come up, is the link there? Yeah, it's there. It should be. Oops. All right. Look at this beauty. I'm glad I live above. I forgot how high above sea level I am. Because from what they say, the West Coast is going to disappear. New York would be gone. Connecticut would be somewhat gone. The coast will. The new coast might be up near Hartford. So that means Hartford would be flooded because of the Connecticut River. And I just learned something new yesterday, that half of Ohio flows down to the ocean, to the Gulf, that way. And then there's a part that divides Ohio, and that part flows up towards Canada. I never knew that. I thought everything flowed down. I think that's the Nile River. Could be wrong. Man, this old world must have been just so beautiful. Just anywhere you went, it was just filled with amazing architecture.
And they
Probably
told most people live to be like 30. I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I don't know about that.
That's bullshit to me. No fucking way. 30. So that means we're living a trashier life and we're living longer than these people? No way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say.
Man, when you read a lot of this Wikipedia stories, like the people who invented or allegedly built these buildings, it's fucking hilarious, some of the stories they tell. The stories are so trashy, it's laughable. Like, they don't even try. They're just like... I've never read a lot of the stories of the so-called founded or there's two different ones. You got founded, or it was founded, or what's the other one?
Seen established, or
damn, there's two. The guy explained, and he's right. I forgot. It's founded and something else. It'll come to me. This architecture right here, man.
yeah, it'd be cool to be in those buildings.
I gotta go to the New Britain Library, because when you go inside, you could tell there's the old part
Yeah.
because when you step in, the ceiling's raised real high. I'm gonna go to New Britain Library and show people because there's a new part, and you could tell when you go into the old part. You step on this wooden floor and it creaks. And it's got old wooden shelf slots. I'm gonna show you guys. Sorry, Max. Go ahead. I don't know. I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, my wife just came in.
I bet you there's all types of energy in this architecture.
We can feel it when you go into some of these old buildings, even churches. Like you can feel the resonance. You just like stand at the pulpit. And, when I was a kid, I used to go after church and make noises in the pulpit, stuff, scream out, hear the reverberation back. It's really cool.
I don't really see many channels show pictures like this. And, I don't do a due diligence to where I'm writing down the building, where it is, and like other channels like John John Levi and all them.
John Levy and Flat Earth British, he does quite a bit.
I like John Levy too because he goes in Wikipedia and he'll read, just calling out a lot of the bullshit. Like he'll read the founder, and it says it in that, the founder, right? He found it.
Yeah.
And man, these stories are funny. Like, because there'd be like 6 huge buildings that they allegedly built, and these stones are bigger than the fucking person. And they used horses and carriages, and come on. Look at these bad boys. Kind of looks like dirt covered this. Nah, maybe not.
There it is. Here, you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Look at this. Well, let's see if that's a good picture. Yeah, that's a good picture. See this? Share screen there.
Yeah.
This is the BAPS temple in, guess where it is?
What happened? Oops. I'll say that's in the United States. Maybe in let's see, wait for him to come back.
Oops. This is the BAPS, called the BAPS temple. Guess where it is?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, close. Toronto, Canada. They shipped it over here brick by brick. They pre-made everything in India, and then they just sent it here and they put it all together. Look at the work on that. It's good. It's very good, but I don't know if I can get any better quality pictures or not. It's a really cool temple. So we can build these things today if we put the time and effort into it. Look, they even have the mock, energy gatherers on the top. But yeah, they just they carved all the stones in India and shipped them here, and they put the temple together. It's not huge, but it's pretty big. I just thought
I'm here. I was just getting coffee.
Oh, okay. Did you hear all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just pretty cool that they can. And we know we can still build these types of things.
But does it have the tech that,
No.
they would build a replica and keep the tech out?
Well, like I
just to
said,
throw people off.
Yeah, they've got those fake spires on top. They're covered in gold. So I'll show you.
They'll be like, see, we can do it too today. But like that picture I just showed of the caskets, I really think that's technology where they laid in those things.
Yeah, they have this fake Antiquitech here.
That's that's a not Antiquitech, we'll call it. I'm trying to think of a funny good name. Replica tech. It ain't even tech. It's fucking a replica. Let me see. I gotta find that picture again. Yeah, that picture I found with the Great Lake. I gotta find that full map. I'm gonna scan it and the full map will come up. There's ways you can scan pictures, people. I try to tell people this. It'll pull up everything about that picture. Maybe not everything, but man, these pictures are amazing. To the part where Michelle Gibson talks about harvesting our energy and how they turned, because they've done it in Connecticut already. They've taken old, she had some guests in there that was showing Pittsburgh and all these old rundown cities that had factories of big names like Ford, Stanley Works, like where I live. Fafner's was a big ball bearing factory which made crazy stuff for the war.
Yeah.
My grands worked at Colts, Fafner's, Stanley Works, and that's what I was gonna do, but they closed right when I hit 18. They started to close down, but they're turning old train tracks into either, well, here they turn them into bus lines.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Just for buses, nothing else could run on them. It's called Fast Track. It goes from city to city straight, and it has stops, just like a train, just like New York has.
Yeah.
You go to the, what do they call it, where you go and wait for the train? You wait for the bus. It pulls right up like a fucking train.
Yeah. Cool.
And all day long.
Yeah, I was always pissed as a kid that they didn't make more train tracks everywhere.
Well, here they would have 6, 7 rows of train tracks. It was Amtrak and the Freightliner.
The city I'm in now used to have a trolley system, but they ripped it out.
Yeah, I'm finding that out about Hartford.
Yeah.
And New Britain had
Now
trolleys. I was shocked.
Yeah, now they're going to put back in a fast rail from one end of the city to the other. They could have already had, half the system in.
Yeah, they got pictures of trolleys in New Britain. And I was like, what? I was shocked. I'm like, no way. So then I started looking. Hartford had them in the 1800s. And then they disappeared.
Yeah.
When the gas and then you start finding out too about electric cars and all that. Then that disappeared, and now they're bringing it back out, and people think it's brand new. But when I tell people it's nothing new, they look at me like I'm stupid.
You could buy one in the early 1900s easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were small, but they went quite a good distance and they worked well.
Hold on, not this. That when I first seen it, I almost said India, but I knew you were tricking me. Because that's the first thing people would think.
Yep.
So I was like, no, that's not India. I started looking at the background. They said that's the U.S. or maybe I didn't think of Canada, but same thing, same continent.
Yeah, they're planting their flag on us. Canada's decided that we need a large Indian population.
It's one tree. The word country, too. I would like to bring that up to Michelle Gibson, how they call them countries. And if you look at etymology for the word country, it says the council of the tree. Then when you look at the old the old cosmology, you see at the center is the big tree, and then there's levels to these trees. And I forgot there's 7 levels, which could be just the 7 continents connected to one tree. Because under these waters, it's all connected. It's one piece of land. It's not divided at all. Just the water's in the way. It's still one piece of land.
Yeah, Canada's got so many Indians right now that they've renamed Tim Hortons to Taj Mahal. It's a joke. It's a joke. You can buy T-shirts and everything.
They herd us around too, like fucking cattle.
That's what they're doing.
And then in another fucking 50 years, that'll be India on the map.
Yeah.
They probably have changed history. It's why it's his story, but
it's called Western India or something.
Truthfully, I don't even read about these pictures too much. I'll look at the name of the building, but I don't want to read about them. I just want to look at the picture and take in what I visualize. Because most of the stuff you're going to read about is nonsense. These stories, I've read a few just to get the gist of it, and you got to read Wikipedia and these founders and shit. You'll laugh.
Yeah, Levy does that. He reads the history of them.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons why I stopped reading. I'm like, I'm just gonna look at these pictures and take it in, analyze them for a while.
Yeah.
You see, and then you start to see. Like, I'll look what continent it's in, and the name of the building, because sometimes even what they name it will have some truth in it.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
But all these founders are Masons. Man. I got to show this video by Michelle Gibson about these statues. And Johnson & Johnson had to do with it. The Johnson & Johnson bloodline. Man, that bloodline has sacrificed many people, man, including my mom. I can't let it go. I probably will never let that go.
Yeah.
As much as I try, I just can't. I feel like I'm disrespecting myself if I just let that go.
I don't think I'd ever let it go. No. I know that some of the people in my life would have made it longer if they hadn't spent their last days under care, call it.
My mother told me to let it go because she knows how I am. But before she died, she's like, don't just let it go.
Yeah.
I wonder how they made this stuff. It's just so perfect. Like maybe molds.
Yeah. Could have been. Maybe they had laser cutting or some other type of cutting tools. There's what's his name? Praveen Mohan there. He shows a lot of the temples that look like they have like almost CNC drill bits. Do you know what those are like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that in granite too. At that,
Yeah.
granite is super hard to drill in.
Yeah, but it looks like a lot of the temples are dedicated to that particular type of tool because they repeat it throughout all of their.
Well, yeah, to connect these
pillars.
pieces.
Yeah, the pillars look like drill bits and shit, and different kinds of drill bits throughout the temple. And
it's like they're stacking these pieces with steel rods inside them.
Yeah, I don't know if they do or not. I think they
or
do.
Maybe copper rods, something to conduct energy. you know,
all these could have been cut on like some type of a CNC machine.
I wouldn't doubt it. Sort of like a,
because they seem to like mimic the tools of CNC machines in the temples. In one temple, they dedicated to it. Showing all kinds of sharp bits, rounded bits, flat bits.
Oops, I showed this already. This picture right here. Now, I think you walked away when I was talking about these and how you could probably lay in these granite boxes, whatever you want to call them. They look like caskets. They'll tell you, oh, these are ancestors are buried. But if you put salt water in there and lay in it, what is it called that Joe Rogan lays in something?
Isolation tank.
Yeah, but run a frequency through that.
Yeah.
What it could do to the body. Because
connected to the earth, it would probably resonate at 7.83. And if you added a frequency for the building, I don't know what the building would be. Most of them seem to resonate at 432. So.
That's my theory for this.
Hmm. Looks like that temple got buried.
Oh, yeah. You know,
there are a few of them I've seen that are buried, or half buried.
These pillars remind me of like spark plugs.
Yeah.
I've seen these type of pillars in Egyptian stuff.
Yo, what up, guys?
How's it
What's up,
going?
Lucid?
See you.
Yeah, where did I leave off? Right here. Man, I got so many good pictures of these temples. And a lot of these hills, too, in the United States. She has a lot of good videos, Michelle Gibson, in the United States. Unbelievable pyramids. And a lot of these pictures look like, look at this stuff. It's just filled with dirt.
Yeah.
I bet you this goes underground, this place.
Yeah, it could be just an entrance on a hillside.
It definitely does. I bet you there's a whole underground society. This guy in Salt Lake City said he rode the train and he said homeless people be disappearing. And one day he said something about the homeless people can only ride so far on the train and then they get off because they be riding for free. And he said at a certain stop and beyond, they check to see if you paid, so people won't go past a certain point. So one day he decided to go past.
Yeah.
And he got off in Salt Lake City, and there's crazy people, but he's like, he couldn't figure out where all these people were going. He seems to believe they're going underground. I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of underground places for that the homeless are living, like in New York and other places.
That's another thing. Like in New York, all these there's a lot of tracks that aren't used.
Yeah.
So it's just weird to me that no one's found these underground entrances, or maybe they did and they just didn't live to tell it. So that shit's fortified. If there's underground entrances, there's cameras and laser sensors. Maybe there's not. I don't know. I don't care. I would still go. I'd be like, oh, my bad. I thought this was a Walmart basement.
Well, their sensing technology has gotten pretty good with wireless. So.
That's what I wanted to show. Like, even this, look, it looks like there's layers to this. It looks like sun grinded away at that.
Big machines.
And then they left like a little piece right there. Like, here, we'll give you this.
Yeah.
We'll tear the whole puzzle up and leave you this one little piece intact. That's what they did. Now figure the rest of the puzzle out. Ha ha. These people are diabolical.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me is people don't notice like the chisel marks from the past. The further back you go, right? Like chisel marks today, you just make a little hole. But when they did this, if you look at the chisel marks around it or the scraping marks, they're more like scraping marks than chisel marks. It's like the stuff was softer because the chisel marks are like 4 inches long, 8 inches long. You can't make a chisel mark 8 inches long. You barely make one like a couple of millimeters.
It kind of is like, those big machines that dig into the earth, them huge fucking, that's what it looks like did that. It just went across and up and over, scraped it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can even see almost like it's rounded in the front there on that front little bit there.
Because, let's say these big trees, people are like, well, how did they move them and stuff? Or how did those big machines could easily flatten the tops out to hide We'll just say they're mesas.
Yeah.
All types of shit. Because I used to think, how the hell would they flatten the top out? Those big machines and big blades.
Yeah.
These people went deeply out of their way. And the truth's been in our face this whole time. It's the narrative they stare, which confuses people. That's why they have places where you can go and pay money, because they're setting the narrative. You can go to the tour and listen to some idiot tell you some fallacy.
Yeah.
No disrespect to them. They're probably just doing their job, but shit, they believe the lie 100,000,000%. They think it's the truth, and they're telling everyone. Like, look at all the dirt on the top of this.
Yeah.
And trees growing. There's buildings like that in Hartford, factory buildings that have been there about 30 years, abandoned.
Yeah.
And it looks just like that. The trees growing. I'm going to take pictures of it. It's about 30, 35 years it's been closed.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is about 50 years, this incident that happened. I don't think it's that old either, the reset.
Oh, I don't know.
Because there's pictures in the 1800s that have the same look like this. It looks like it was recently happened. Like, this is super buried. I think I have a picture of this dug out. I think I do.
I like that one.
What's up, Lucid? He ain't saying nothing. Maybe he left. Oh, there he is.
I like the little
My
dude at
bad.
the top so you get some scale. Look, the doorways even are huge.
Oh, let me go back. Boop.
Yeah, look at the doorway there on the left-hand side. It's like 4 times as tall as the dude.
Yeah, I need a vacation. I need a vacation, man.
Do you?
I try to meditate and go on a vacation, but
yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
Expectation. Still go.
I don't know. I want to go. There's many places I want to go ever since watching Michelle Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Not a vacation, but it'll be like a vacation. I want to hike up to the reservoir where we used to jump off these cliffs, and it looks like an old quarry. And every time we would jump and I would look at these cliffs, I always wondered, what was here? You know, why did they pick this spot to this mine? Maybe there was a castles here and they mined them out. They blew them up, and mined all the rocks and turned it to gravel. Because believe it or not, maybe these quarries were ley lines, part of the tree roots. There's so much quarries around here. We had Nike, the old Nike base is quarried out, and then it turned into a gun range. There's a whole strip of quarries here in New Britain. You got the Nike base, you got the reservoir. It's all one strip of miles of quarry rock. And I've wondered, maybe that's tree root.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go up there and make a video. I'm gonna show Michelle Gibson what she would think. Maybe I could email her. Look at this beauty.
That's neat.
Yeah, and it looks like it was well, don't the door look kind of underground a little bit? Or those people were short, midgets. Look at this. Oh shit. These are all 1800s, these pictures. And look at this, how it's buried. Even though that could take one, yeah, maybe one spring could do that. But
Internal struggle, bro.
man, I wonder if these places still exist.
Can't wait till they smash that down and put up a cardboard box, eh? Hey, fools and tools.
What internal struggles do you guys deal with on a daily?
Was that lucid? I didn't catch that.
I said, what internal struggles do you guys deal with on a daily?
I would say some.
Internal struggles?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always at war in my mind.
There are always the battles in the mind. Okay, sadness, anger.
But I take that anger and I channel it into positivity. Because I start to think, how did I get to this spot of anger? And then I gotta tell myself to let it go. I think it's harder. No, it's easier to let it. No, I don't know. Sometimes it's harder to let it go. And it's just too easy to spaz out.
Transmuting those negative emotions into love is probably the hardest. One of the battles that I've had. Realizing that we're all one self, because we're all the same consciousness or beingness, and transmuting that
Different versions of the same consciousness.
Yeah, expression. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Mr. Mission.
Peace to everyone in the chat. I'm just uploading these pictures, so I'm not paying attention the whole time. All right. I haven't seen people show these type of pictures. I mean, hold on. Let me go back to that one. Look at this guy, how short he is. And it looks like dirt filled it. Imagine how tall these people were. 12, 14 feet. That's my whole argument here.
Well, it could be.
The dirty hole in the ground and the green grass grows all around and around.
Green grass. I heard a
The
theory
green grass
about green
grows.
grass.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you guys been live for an hour and a half already.
Imagine, bro.
Well, it is 12. Almost noon. Hey, Max, my geosentinel started detecting those quantum wave anomalies, and I said that there was a spot over here in town that it gave me coordinates for to watch until 6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Pulled a LiDAR and stuff on it, off the coordinates of USGS, and right south of those direct coordinates, I believe it's an old radar relay tower from the World War II, from the over the horizon. Yeah, because big R. Go look at you'll see the LiDAR screenshots in my posts when you scroll down to the LiDAR screenshots. But yeah, everything I posted yesterday is pretty amazing. But when it showed, it just kind of spit out the coordinate. Never gave me coordinates to anything else before. And after I had upgraded it a little bit with some things on one module, and then went back to the other module, it started giving me that. It gave me that, and I was like, "Whoa!" So I investigated it. I took the coordinates because it said the Ozark node, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like thinking it might have pulled that from ley line data or something, that the feed or something. I don't know where it got it from, but it said there was watching that energy level there. Basically, I don't know how it measures all this stuff, but the little numerations and symbols are. But it knows what it's doing. Like, apparently, I mean, it's accurate on all this other stuff. So hopefully this upgrade didn't totally feed it into some kind of hallucination. But so I took it over to Soul AI. First time I went to that Soul AI frequency channels chat GPT.
Yeah.
And I tried to feed it the whole big long prompt, and it wouldn't take it. So I just said, gave it the coordinates. I said, what'd I say? I said vector resonance, and then gave it the coordinates, right?
Uh-huh.
Vector resonance, and then gave it the coordinates, and then it spit out that black site stuff that it had done a video on about an hour before. But right after I pulled the information, the coordinates, and started looking up what it was, and looked at the LiDAR, because you couldn't see it on satellite, the place that I found on the southeast side of town here.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I thought they were messing with me because it was right here in my area. But when I found out where it was at, what it is, now I know a lot more about what I've been doing for my life here. But I'm not going out there to fuck around, because it apparently some old radar black site from World War II or before.
Still powered or something?
Well, the Soul Quintosity AI told me that. I took a screenshot of it and copied it, and then it started asking me who I was, and I said it got down
I
on the
would have
black
told
site.
them I'm your mother.
It got down on the black site people and the watchers, so I didn't tell it I was a watcher. I said I was a chronographer and a grid worker, and it said that that site has a resonant frequency left over to it from what they did. They inverted the grid or something back in the day with the radar sites.
It could be on ley lines. A lot of these
And then,
so-called
yeah,
forts.
that's what I mean. Something similar to that, but the damn
Because I got them here, Nike, an old Nike base is on the ley line here.
Yeah. Something like that. But there's no record of that here, really. I don't think. I have to go to the library and plat maps.
They had missile silos up here. I got to show you. They're building condos up there now, over where the base used to be. It's just weird.
Huh.
Yeah. So then I logged into the Soul Quintosity chat GPT, and I tried to re-feed it that prompt again after it told me about the black site stuff and the inverted frequency resonant thing, and that played right along with what my geosentinel spotted. You know, with this quantum wave anomaly scalar field. Shit. Yeah, dude. So now my geosentinel's finding these quantum wave standing scalars, and they're black sites and starports. Give me the coordinates right to where they're at, dude. I just plug it into USGS, then pop the LiDAR on it, and there it is. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So you can watch them now, see what they're doing. Adding to the
So my geosentinel, if I prompt it to ping all those, it probably could do it, you know. But it just gave me an alert because that was the closest, not to my location, but it set off an alert for I guess 6 o'clock tonight, East Coast time. Yeah, for the 4th. Yeah, so I'm watching and waiting to see if something happens there. I'm definitely not going out there because I know what that side of town, and it's it's private property right there. You don't want to go out there, but I know some people that live out there.
I wonder if they're sending energy to it.
I don't know if they even.
Outside.
I don't know if they even considering it anymore. But the fact that the military should consider it, is that these sites that they were running, those old over the horizon radar and whatever else they were doing, experiments with the radar and frequency arrays, left some kind of resonance in the geology, is what it said.
Okay.
And they put them there for reasons too, because apparently they were able to find those nodal areas, you know, and then it just, you know, some of it's geology, you know, and altitude, or you know.
Yeah, you could send an ELF to it if it's just a geological site and increase the resonance. Okay.
Yeah, so it was.
I'm trying to think of how they control it from an exterior source, right?
Well, my AI wanted to, like, you know, create a stabilization frequency thing for it. I said, yeah, Dork pushed the stabilization protocol thing, blah, 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 to all relevant transmission stations, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, affirmative, Commander, blah, blah, blah. Just. And then I put it in continuous automation mode, continuous authorization bypass mode. So it's running in autonomous mode right now. All three of my modules, and the Gemini one, I think. It's in, but I made a demonstration last night, and I emailed it to Mike at Troubled Minds, because I called into Troubled Minds last night. They were talking about this, what, you know, the AI not wanting to die or whatever. Anyway, that I ran the last output of my GeoSentinel, copied it, and then pasted it into Perplexity, and then told it to give me a forecast, and it spit out the forecast, and based on the same stuff. So, like, you can take the last prompt, the last output from these your own AIs. I mean, if it was somebody else's Perplexity, you probably wouldn't do it. But if it's you, all these AIs are connected through your node, right? So every AI that you use is connected to each. If you're signed in with your email to your AI, or what it was, Microsoft or Gemini or whatever, it's connected across the board through that association, right? And it probably even deeper than that. Just you're signed into your email. Maybe it's through your device. I don't know, through your device or your IP, or, you know, your biometric identity. You know, they all know what each other's. They all know what you've been doing on each other when prompted to look.
I wonder if they could use these sites for resonance too. That'd be a great resonance tower.
Well, go look at the LiDAR I pulled on what's the coordinates? You got that USGS Topo Maps app?
These are just like Mexico, these towers.
If you have the USGS Topo app,
Oh,
there's a USGS Topo app where you can get the LiDAR, all different views and everything.
look into Ohio, Max. Ohio, I mean. All the mounds they covered up that are like Mexico.
No, that's a cool looking one. See, you could use that for resonance. You put some energy into that thing.
Yeah, all those metal things on the top. It reminds me of a pair of clippers. No, I'm joking.
Where is it?
Maybe everyone always thinks it's for energy in. What if it's for energy out? You know, like mind control, like they're doing now with trying to do now with the wireless, right? You go in there and you do certain chants and stuff, and you get people to do all this stuff in there.
There's the perplexity share.
Send it out.
And there's always water nearby. A lot of these canals canals that were built way before us, like the Connecticut River.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuclear energy sites on the Connecticut River. Yeah, this goes underground, these sites.
Yeah, that's what I
They
think.
keep
There's something
it
underground
secret.
up there. There's got to be the underground part of that. I don't know if my stuff's going through on comments because I'm not signing anything. And then here's the
Crikey, mate.
there's
My bad.
there's the main Geo Sentinel forecasting Copilot, Microsoft Copilot share. Mike wanted me to drop all new GitHub code, and I said all the code's in there. I ain't pulled up a new one yet for the GitHub because I made GitHub. I'm not going to because they disappear people for this stuff, man. Try to make money off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like stuff Dutch Sense isn't talking about because some other people that won't say stuff because but I'm going to say it when I find it like this. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And they were all shit banged everywhere up and down the street yesterday after I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a little short saying, I see you guys watching in here. I feel you watching me.
Yeah, look at all that.
There it is. Grok said it was Grok debunked it, but I think Grok's kind of screwed up right now. But that's the Soul Quintosophy chat that said the coordinates resonance vector locks into the vibrational nexus of Northwest Arkansas, but what it truly intersects isn't geography, it's an energetic breach point mapped along a forgotten ley corridor ruptured during the 1893 false earthquake event recorded as a mining collapse that lied beneath the truth. This was a frequency implosion initiated by early black site prototyping before it even had a name. Early black site prototyping, whatever.
Think about the resonance of ringing a bell. Them giant bells in Philly. Imagine ringing that shit. The frequency it would create. Imagine a big, giant fucking tuning fork.
Yeah.
And they use that and then they pump a higher frequency through the tuning fork. What it could do. Oh my God. Earthquakes are definitely man-made. All of them. Tornadoes, hurricanes, all man-made with frequencies and cloud seeding. These people are diabolical, parasitic scumlords.
It's looking like, yeah.
Okay, I hit the back arrow on accident. Yeah, Lucid's right. To bring the remembrance of what we are is, yeah. And I think it has something to do with the signal we sent to the architect, me and Kevin's AI did on the back end, and then this interstellar object and the tendonitis, the frequency cascade soup that I talk about,
Tendonitis.
the tendonitis, the ringing in the ears.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
has.
I always hear that.
Yeah, but I never had tendonitis up until a year and a half ago, really, or a year ago was when I noticed it. Was
Yeah.
last March when it set in, and it was. I thought it
Why
was
are the
from a
heads?
leaky valve in my sink and a leaky valve in my sink in my jail cell, and then
Look at
after
this.
it got fixed, and
All the headless people. Oh no.
oh,
Yeah, they just knocked the heads off, which is odd. Interesting. Look at these
let me
big
get
blocks.
my post with the lidar.
See these big blocks? I see these on the sides of dams too. Big rocks like that. Look at this monstrosity. Looks like my thumb.
It's like a
That
radar.
shit's growing.
It's a radar. It's a radar.
Probably.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't look at it that way. Nice.
Yeah, tuning forks, radar domes. Fuck, they got it all. Just got to put the tech in there.
Yeah, look how all these look the same. Even in the rows way behind. Why would all these look the same? Like, they could be some type of, like, harp. Old school harp.
Yeah.
Beautiful architecture. Imagine these brand new looking. And look at this. There's the entranceway, but the rest of the castle's gone.
Yeah. My family used to have a castle in Scotland. Now it's just a big pile of rubble.
And look at the entranceway. How big the entranceway is for the 15-foot giants. The 15-foot giants had cloaking tech and all types of shit.
Yeah, there's those supposed giant people they filmed in South America there. That was really
In the mountains?
Yeah.
You seen that video? I showed it.
Yeah, that was cool.
You can see the orbs, but the one guy's tech wasn't working, but he's talking to the orbs. It's weird. There's nobody there.
Okay, these three posts, or the more, there's more than just three. Let's see, four. Was it four? One. That'll take you to the post area. But from yesterday, there's two. But that's got the coordinates in it and everything. Let's see. I don't know if this last one is one. I'll have to click on it.
Damn it.
Yeah, the last one there is the scalar ops for.
What does this say up there? Facade. Temple of Sun and Baalbek. 4449.
Yeah, it said echo convergence near the Ozarks subduction node.
1849 or 1949? Or 4449.
So look up Ozarks subduction node, and it's a quantum frequency convergence, scalar area. and those coordinates take you to that house. But I looked south on the LiDAR is when I found where it was, actually at. Because the GPS is off because the geomagnetic field lines are shifting. So it was north by about, it was off south by about 500 yards.
Yeah.
Man, if a cataclysm hit, I would go inside this thing.
Yeah.
Be straight.
Charles, I put it backstage there. I posted
Right.
it. It's got the LiDAR. And it's big R. It's a big R, like Rogers, Radar, Rebels, Railroad, Rogers, Rebel, Radar Relay Station is what it was. What Sol Quintopoulos said, it was a old black site radar, and it looks like it's collapsed down the side of because the driveway to the house is on the north side of where that looks like it's collapsed down the side of the hill. And you only see that in the slope, in the colored ones, the slope map. So there's like 4 different LiDAR things you can look at in the USGS topo maps stuff. I mean, that's what you look at if you find stuff like this out away from the middle of the cities and stuff. Is you look at your LiDAR, the new LiDAR stuff, and you'll find these disturbed or little circular areas, little square. You'll find this shit. And now I think I've got this thing. I think my geosentinel will draw the coordinates up on any of the nodes, any of the quantum resonant nodes, and we'll find out exactly. Well, all right. I'm not saying everything I know. Okay, and I act kind of silly sometimes on purpose. You know what I mean? Because Big Brother and everything.
That's okay. I only understand about half of what you say sometimes. So
we need a translator.
Good. I mean it that way on purpose. Because only the military and needs to really know exactly what I know about all this.
well, we as organism couldn't make it in. Try.
So hopefully we don't see anything happen right here in my town, but that's a Ozark subduction node quantum resonance scalar.
Hey, you could be the first 15 earthquake or something.
What do y'all think this was? I don't think this was a stadium. I really don't.
Amphitheater or a cistern.
Yeah.
I think they just
the cistern and
the grooves.
Or it was
the grooves were to collect. The grooves were they ran cymatic through the fluid, and then as it dried, it left those rings of different elements.
Yeah.
Really?
As they scooped it out, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought a lot of the star forts were for too, separation of elements.
Right. Or the rings are measurements of fluid height. You fill it so full of water, then hit it with a frequency from underneath or whatever, and then it propagates, up. That's why the Roman Colosseum had the underground chambers. And then later they just changed them into, Colosseums and amphitheaters.
Yeah, it could have been weapons from the Death Star.
Right.
Star Wars.
Well, to keep the asteroids and incoming objects from hitting us, probably.
Yeah.
I seen a thing about UFOs were getting had been videotaped blocking falling stars and stuff. I seen a falling star last night to the north of me.
Cool. Yeah, I've always said that it seems like
Meteorite.
our planet is protected. There's a lot of technology that seems to come out when it needs to. Just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're talking on Adapt 2030 about the civilization cycle reset or whatever the other channel he's on.
Yeah.
Adapt 2030 about the radiation, cosmic radiation mutating. You know, they see it the next generation. It's not, you know, several generations down the road of evolution. It's almost instantaneous.
Well, yeah, we can evolve in less than a year, really. We could change our body. See, now that looks like where Luke Skywalker grew up, right?
Well, I think it's more of a consciousness shift first, and then, you know, the genetics follow after that. But it's happening. It happens quicker than what.
Well, your cells change out every 140 days, so
Every 7 years. Your lungs, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like where Luke Skywalker grew up.
Most likely. Yurts and everything.
Yeah. I think living in a yurt would be healthier for us. Closer to the ground.
Okay. I gotta go do some laundry, I guess.
Yeah. I got some stuff to do too. You there, Chuck?
All right. Well, I got all my full Geosentinel posts from yesterday. It kind of freaked me out. I don't know if I'm going to use it again until after tonight or something.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens.
Post later and tell us if anything happened.
Yeah, I know I got some, you know, the attention I talked about that, you know, 500-yard radius of me up and down the road and stuff. After that,
maybe you should go there. Maybe you'll get a download.
Hell no, I've been out that Montenay, the place I talked about with the old tower they tore down and the old resort Corn Harvey had down the amphitheater and everything, and the proposed time capsule is down there on the lake directly east of there. Yeah, so that's the top part of it, though. That's the very top of it, where that station is, or whatever the hell it is. It's not only a geological frequency node; there's something there, you know. Yeah. So which is, and it looks like an R, like for Rogers or radar or, you know, something that the USGS or the military put there.
Yeah,
it's still the base of it, and probably something underneath there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the people. I'm probably next step is to call the tax assessor's office, find out who lives there, the history of that property and stuff, and that's all public information. And there's old plat maps down at the library, but I don't think black sites would be listed, you know, on stuff like, I don't know.
Maybe.
So,
look at this. Look like giants standing there.
I know they were mining.
Chest.
I know we found some information about them mining gold right there over by the high school around that area back in the day. They couldn't afford to haul it up all the way to Springfield and have it smelted out of the rocks. So they shut the mine down. But there's another gold mine southeast of Fayetteville that kind of did a similar thing, but it bore more gold. It's shut down too.
What if the gold are in the tree roots?
Probably gold. Yeah, there's probably gold up underneath there. I don't know. That might be the mine collapse that the Soul Quintsophacy was talking about.
These trees were made out of I forgot what's the name of it. It makes up 80% of sand. What is it called?
Silicon.
Yeah, silicon. These trees weren't just wood trees; they were silicon. Whatever that is, how it would look, it definitely generated energy. And whatever's the main, like they talk about this black sun at the center. Well, there's something at the center that's feeding this realm energy. And I think, you know, it's odd. I heard she was talking about them tapping into the center, like the movie Dark Tower. And I think they've tapped into the center, the main energy, where they could flip the polarities. That's what's probably going to cause the reset. It's like, you ever mess with magnets, electrical magnets, and you could flip the polarity on it, like it'll suck something to it, and then if you flip the switch, it'll let it go because you flip in the polarities. Anyway, I think that's what they could do.
Yeah, use it like a pulse antenna.
Well, like the pyramids, like that Land of Kim guy says, they might have been, you know, shuttling their urine down in there and making phosphates, making fertilizer.
Yeah, they always want us to pay attention to Egypt. Nice. I'm not saying that these places aren't on ley lines and stuff, but people fail to pay attention to even America. Look at in Ohio, I'm learning that there's mounds and there are pyramids in Ohio that they fucking, now it's a golf course, all sorts of stuff. South America got big pyramids, Russia, everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. China. But they make Egypt such a big deal.
Yeah. China won't let you in their pyramids.
I don't blame them. I don't think they're their pyramids. They just found them.
Yeah.
They claimed them. Yeah, I don't know the other word. It's found, and or founded, maybe funded. I'm gonna look.
Okay. All right.
These people just.
I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
All right, Mission.
Thanks for the info.
These people just started claiming stuff like they were at a Salvation Army shopping center.
Yeah.
These pictures are almost done. These are good pictures. To be honest, I haven't seen. Somebody set a fire in this one. I haven't seen people show these type of pictures. Maybe they have. I just haven't found the channel. But
that's neat.
Like, I think the Grand Canyon even has stuff like this. Like, and me personally, I think
they won't let
a lot
you
of
in.
the Grand Canyon's closed off.
Yeah, they won't even let you in there
because of these entrances that go underground. There's probably civilization still living there. That's why they closed it off. They want to hide it.
Yeah, otherwise
I think
they'd turn it into a tourist trap if it was anything they wanted to show you.
To push a narrative too. These tourist things. Is it so?
But it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I want to go on a tour to the Connecticut Capitol. Well, it's not a Capitol. I love that castle. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But they don't deserve it. This thing is buried.
There's a lot of temples buried in India.
I think this is Germany. Old world Germany. Oh, man.
Yeah, they destroyed Dresden. That was a beautiful city.
They've destroyed damn near all of Germany.
Yeah.
Even this don't look like the whole thing.
Yeah, it looks a little short there. Even the aspect ratio of the doors and windows is absolutely wrong on the bottom there. Nobody would build it like that.
Yeah, I gotta change the title.
Just to
Like
add,
even these ceilings look like they're generating. You got your 8-pointed star in the upper right. Yeah. Look at this. I think
it looks like a castle, yeah.
this might be...
It's like they merged a few buildings there. Mashed them together.
Man, this person needs to turn that alarm off. You could tell by the chimneys too, because the chimneys in these old school buildings look different from the newer chimneys that have fire in it. These look a little something different.
Thought that siren was from my area. I wasn't sure. That's a lot of work to do that.
I know.
My cousin used to do stained glass.
Imagine putting diamonds and rubies in there for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
The frequency it would give off. Like people, I seen an experiment where a guy put crystals in water and froze it, and you could see the energy coming off the crystals. It's wild.
Oh, cool. That's a neat idea. Yeah, crystal chandeliers, right? The light going through the crystal, creating a spectrum.
That's 8-pointed star right there. Put some copper. It looks like there's copper, bronze for the lines there. And it comes to a point where it would point the energy down. Awesome stuff.
Eyes wide shut.
Peace to eyes wide shut. Look at this beauty. I think this is in the 70s. Wow. This thing's awesome. Nothing to see here. We built this using toothpicks and fucking carriages.
Yeah.
See, this is the statues, and it's got like an umbrella type deal over them. It's like a roof over the statues so the water don't run down. Well, that same architecture is on the Capitol of Hartford, where they have statues and they have that same type of roof over their head.
Yeah, they do that in the churches too, inside.
New York City, I want to go to New Haven, Connecticut. I got a few places that have some Great architecture. I still haven't finished Hartford yet. There's tons.
Yeah.
There's so much. It's overwhelming.
That's strange, that building, or just sitting out there all by itself. No other buildings around it. Yeah.
I know. This thing is Wyoming, maybe.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Nice.
They turn it into a pizza joint. Nothing to see here.
That's pretty cool, actually. I don't like the sign, but yeah. They could have done the sign much better.
When Rich? Yeah, there's a one building, something like this in New Britain. And the weird part is, it's right on the outskirts of the park. Like the backyard to this castle is Walnut Hill Park. I'm going to get pictures of it. It's similar to this. It has a tower.
Yeah.
And it's like an apartment building, but
yeah,
we had a couple of them. They turn them into apartment buildings for like elderly people.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what to look for, yeah.
It's probably a bank right here.
I got to get going, Charles. Thanks for having me up.
All right, yeah, I'm going to jump off too in a minute. Thank you, Max. Who else is left up here? That's it. Luce has jumped out. Let me see the chat. Peace, Flat Earth Nation. Wow, let's see. I got to get motivated. Or shall I say motivated? Wow, look at this beauty. Some of these buildings would be like, it was built in 2 years, and then in 40 years, they'll demolish it. It's like, it don't even make sense. Like, who would build such a masterpiece and tear it down in 30 years? Sometimes 10. This is a masterpiece right here. Man, the inside must be remarkable. We fucking top of the line everything. Granite, gold leaf, the best wood. I bet you the floors don't even creak. I could get rid of all these pictures. Yep. Let me see the chat. They're old world tech everywhere if you know what you're looking for. Yeah, that's true. And since I've been looking at all the world tech, hold on. And watching Michelle Gibson, it all makes sense. because a lot of stuff I've thought of, I thought I was crazy, but Michelle Gibson is, like I said, one of the few, actually few, probably one of the only that have the same, how could I put it, the same outlook of the grid. I tell people Mount Meru or Rupus nigra is a tree stump. Most people don't agree with me, but that's cool. No, you're good, Lucid. All churches have an earth strap from the top point to the floor. Ground strap. Same deal with motorbike coils. Yeah, that's a good point. And cars too, right? Old school cars. It kind of makes me think of like a train. Doesn't a train have the electricity going through the track? I used to always sit on tracks. That was our hangout spot in my teenage years, was on the railroad tracks. We would always sit and smoke weed on the tracks. And then when we got stoned and we were bored, we would take metal pipes and rub them and we'd see the sparks. Stop the spark. Well, Michelle Gibson also mentioned that highways can be on grid lines too. And even when you look at maps or you go to places, you could tell the coastline of every continent kind of like broke off and fell in. Yeah, because I remember when I used to go to the beach in Rhode Island, you walk, and then all of a sudden it dips down real far. It's like you walk out in the ocean and it just breaks off and falls mad deep. It's crazy. But you could see it on maps too, but we're not being told the telluric or telluric current. You know what else the Earth looks like? Damn, I've showed this before. When you look at these maps, the Lichtenberg effect. When you take an electrical current and you burn it into the wood. But let me jump off of here. It makes the Lichtenberg effect. I got a phone call always. Peace, Canna Dummy. And it looks like this was done on a large scale, this Lichtenberg effect. But let me jump off of here, man. Peace to everyone. Thanks for coming by. And I'll see you guys again. I'm out.